Hello friends, welcome to another Magic Monday. We are almost to 75 episodes of this series, which is crazy. Anyway, today we're looking at a deck called Rocket. Rocket? Like, because it's raccoons. Rocket Raccoon, you got it. This is with Muerra Trash Technician, a 3-mana 2/4 Raccoon Warrior. At the beginning of your first main phase, add red or green for each raccoon you control. Whenever you expend 4, gain 3 life. Whenever you expend 8, exile the top 2 cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. So, Moira gives us mana, gains us life, and helps us get through our library quickly. And obviously it's a raccoon tribal deck. So, let's take a look under the hood. 31 creatures, 28 non-creatures, average mana cost of 3.1, heavier green than red, but not too bad. Of those 31 creatures, 18 of them, 18, are raccoons. There's some other mixed in stuff, but some of them are like Raccoon Warrior, Raccoon Shaman, whatever. 5 instants, 4 sorceries, 12 artifacts, 7 enchantments, a planeswalker, and a big 4/0 land. So obviously, what I did here is I searched for raccoon, and I put in every raccoon that was available, whether I had it or not. So I spent a bunch of wild cards making this deck. So I'm not even going to highlight the raccoons for the most part, because just look them up. But what we have here, we have stuff like Crash Through, which will help us get through our deck even faster with that card draw. Sticky Fingers lets us draw a card. I want to make sure we always have cards in our hand so that we're constantly expending. Expending is just, I don't know why they used expend, but it's whenever you spend a total of 4 mana, gain 3 life. When you spend a total of 8 mana in that turn, then exile the cards. So we want to keep drawing because, there's stuff that we want to be playing. We want to be spending 4 to 8 mana or more every turn. So this is just like Crash Through, except it's an instant, so it's better. Utopia Sprawl just for some mana add. This Frog Warrior I put in here because it's whenever another frog, rabbit, raccoon, or squirrel enters the battlefield under my control, put a 1/1 counter on it. And it's a 1 mana for basically a frog from Chrono Trigger with an axe instead of a sword. Pretty cool. This Goblin guy, we can kick him so that we get another land, and if we have way too many lands and we need something else, we could sack a land to draw a card, so he's pretty versatile. Raccoon here. This will help us with some card draw. If we're getting stuck with lands late game, we can discard 2 lands to draw 3 cards. A little bit of removal plus some card swap here. Another raccoon. Take out the trash because that's funny. And also, if you control a raccoon, you can do the same thing as with Fire Prophecy. This guy gets 1/1 until end of turn when you expend 4. We've got this guy gains indestructible when you spend 4. So the raccoons are very much built for this kind of thing, which I like. This is a cool card because it's an elemental raccoon that can add mana or return it to return this creature to your owner's hand, so you could do Fetch Quest again. And Fetch Quest is 7 mana, which is actually pretty easy to hit with this deck. Mill 7 cards, put a creature, enchantment, or land from among the milled cards onto the battlefield. Pretty easy. Pretty simple. Pretty reusable. Explore lets us drop a land, draw a card. Gala Greeters, mostly for treasure tokens or life gain, if whatever. Ground Seal. I put this in because it feels appropriate for the raccoon deck, but also it helps us draw a card and also prevents graveyard manipulation decks, of which there are many out there right now. Heroic Intervention to keep our stuff safe. Mana. This guy's cool. Whenever there are 4 or more card types among cards exiled with it, it gets +4/4 and has trample. So for 2 mana, you can have basically 6 mana because you have to exile the cards with this, but it is a 7/7 trampling raccoon. Mana Snake, Season of Growth, lets us scry a lot so we can stack the deck. I like this guy a lot because whenever you expend 4, put a 1/1 counter on it, plus he's a Mana Rock. Mana Rock. Whenever you expend 4, you may discard your hand and then draw 2 cards, which is pretty cool. I don't like the Jeff Goldblum pose that he's doing there from Jurassic Park, but other than that, very nice. Another raccoon. Now this is a lizard warlock, but whenever a raccoon I control deals damage to a permanent or player, it deals that much +1. So it's just a little bonus. This one gains vigilance and +1/1 when we spend mana. This one can return stuff from the graveyard to our hand. This guy lets us destroy stuff and gift a card, which is just what I always wanted. Tribute to the World Tree lets our raccoons come in bigger or draw some cards. Mana Rock here. This one's really weird. So basically it exiles at random a permanent card in your graveyard, and then it becomes a food token, which is weird. But, I mean, if we ever need to gain life. And also I put in every raccoon, so he had to be here. Red spells cost 1 less, and then you can discard and draw. Mana Rock here. Green spells cost 1 less, and then they get +2/2 and trample. Only put in Sword of Fire and Ice. You guys by now should know how much I like the swords. I like the color hosing swords, but this one might be my favorite because it helps with the card draw. So I put it in. Deals 2 damage to any target and draw a card. Another raccoon. Whatever you expend for, this guy deals 2 damage to each opponent. Really nice in this deck because it can trigger every single turn pretty much without fail. If we get stuck with lands, we do an unexpected windfall and draw some more cards. Beast Whisperer, so we can keep drawing cards. This one can't be countered. He's already a 5/5 trample, and whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, creature cards in your library perpetually get +1/1. And he's only 4 mana. This guy is awesome. He's probably going in some of my other decks too that are not raccoon themed. Card draw with Harmonize. Just again, another raccoon. Some card draw here with Toski. And then because we could potentially be drawing a lot of cards and playing a lot of cards in a turn, I put in Aetherflux Reservoir, plus we gain a ton of life. So this can be a win con right here. 1 ring, more card draw. More land draw here and card draw. Here's our 1 planeswalker. It's Tybalt, who will let us, if we're facing a deck that has a lot of creatures, it's good to be able to get these devils out every turn. Or we could do the +1, where he deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker, unless its controller has it deal 4 damage to them instead. And if they do that, you can discard a card and draw a card. So he's very versatile, really fits in with the deck. I just wish he had a cute little raccoon tail instead of devil horns. And then we get into the big stuff. Gargaroth, because it can help us with card draw or beast tokens or gain life, which we probably don't need in this deck, but it can help with it. And if we have a couple of raccoons out, it's basically free to play this guy. Glorious Sunrise helps with card draw or the 1/1 trample when we want to go for the win. Silverback Elder helps us with some removal or whatever we need. This raccoon, he's common. He's a 5 mana for a 4/5 trample, but he can get boosted up to a 6/6 when you expend 4. He's nothing great, but whatever. Here's our only real creature type pump. So raccoons get +1/1, and whenever we cast a raccoon, we draw a card. So this deck obviously has a lot of card draw power to it. Primeval Bounty lets us gain life, lets us put 1/1 counters on stuff, and create beast tokens. It's just so good in this deck, because you can play it sometimes by like turn 3. If the opening hand is right, you could play this really early, and it just ramps so beautifully in this deck. Dragon Mage, because we're emptying our hand a lot, this helps us to draw 7 fresh cards. And Great Henge, because it's broken and so powerful. And then a whole bunch of lands. That's the deck, guys. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. It's a super fun deck to play. There are some things that could make it stronger. I could put Ulamog in here and cheat out Ulamog really early, but I really wanted to focus on the raccoon theme as much as possible. So you, as always, copy the deck, feel free to tweak it, whatever you want. But regardless, I hope you enjoy this episode. If you do, you know what to do. Please consider leaving a like. Tell me in the comments how much you think the raccoons are adorable, because they are. Look at this guy. He's so cute. And he's slinging a teapot. It's amazing. Even the scrappy bruiser, I mean, he's tough looking, but he's kind of cute. I mean, he's got the tank top on, which is kind of silly, but these guys are great. I mean, look at that. They're so cute. You just want to, like, scritch them under the chin a little bit. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider it. As always, be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other. Let's get to some games.
you.